song, yeah?
Tin Lizzy, yeah. The very first and greatest Irish band.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know the funny story about Psyche is I wasn't even on the show and they sang me Happy Birthday.
It's good stuff. It's really good stuff.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers to you. Have fun.
How was Rob's panel? Was he funny? He's so good. We just love him. Hi! Who was at karaoke last night? Was it any fun? It was the best ever.
Isn't this guy a great party leader? Like, he just gets it going, man.
I slept hard last night. Jesus. But it's great to be back today. Hi, Dave.
Hi, buddy.
How are you? My voice is coming on.
Oh, good. We got a line already. That's great. Because we,
do we have the people that were at the end of the line yesterday up the front of the line today?
some of the people return. Good. Had the questions.
We jump straight in. Do you want to talk about it last night? Do you want to talk about?
I don't want to talk about last night.
Are you sure?
That's private, buddy.
Dude, I can't remember.
Well, that's because I drugged you.
I know. Welcomed.
Hi. We love each other a lot.
A little bit too much.
Who was at the panel yesterday?
Oh, return for more.
We're gonna try to avoid as much horse phallus analogies as possible. For those who are just joining us,
What about donkeys?
it got weird. It got weird. So maybe today will be a more somber, civilized discussion. And you're like, no! Let's get weird. Well, let's find out.
I'm sure one question is all it's going to take.
Yeah.
You're up.
You're up.
So, you all are both dads, and I am a mom, and I see in my kid, I have 3 kids, and I see traits of myself in all 3 of them. Is there like a moment, like something that happened with your kids that you were like, oh shit, that's me?
My kids are 8 months old. They're not even 8 months old. And there's one kid, Juno, Jesus Christ, I'm like, oh no, you're so like me. Already, yeah.
That's me.
Maud will just I've woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning, in a panic because they haven't woken up. And I look at the screen, the monitor screen. My wife's been away for a month, so I've been holding down the fort. She's away working, not partying. But I look at the monitor, and Maud is like, because the night vision, they have these evil eyes, And she's looking at the fucking screen. She's looking at the screen, and she's just chilled. She's chilled. She lies there for about a half an hour and then goes back to sleep. 4 o'clock in the morning. Juno, on the other hand, I want now! And I want it now! Get up, Dad! She'll scream the house down. Scream the house down. Whenever she's upset or whenever she wants anything, she'll scream the house down. So, yeah, unfortunately, she's like me. Yeah. No patience, 0 patience.
I can't remember. 8 months. Are they doing the babble or are they speaking words now?
Juno, not so much. Maud has been speaking since she was 4 months old. She's been like, dad, 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 dad. I'll play it for you.
Fun.
You carry on. You pull.
Yeah, that's a great question. Unfortunately, and fortunately, yes. She loves to sing and dance constantly and tell jokes. And I'm like, where the hell do you get this from? And then I'm like, wait a second. Good gracious. Because we have dance parties in the morning, we sing, we're constantly rocking out in the car. And, I realize that when I'm at home, I'm whistling and humming too. I'm that guy. And so she's singing all the time back to me. And then when I take her to school, all the kids run up to her, like, Lana, and then she starts doing bits and stuff, and ha ha ha. It's like, oh, come on, don't show up. Wait a second, goddammit. That's what I do for a living. I'm a dancing monkey.
Yeah, so a very good one.
So yeah, it's kind of weird. You're like, ooh, no, you're gonna be a show person. Don't. But then I'm like, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. So it's an odd situation to be in. Be like, don't be too showy, says Jazz Hands.
It's so funny. Here, I'll see if I can play this.
Why is he drinking whiskey?
As I said, my kids are very like me. Like seriously, she says it over. She has no idea she's saying Dada, but I hold it over my wife's head. Like it's like, oh,
well, you know,
not so much.
Well, you know that's true, right? Like
it's easier to say.
The first word is often Dada.
Yeah.
And the moms are just like, what?
I can't move my lips.
I birthed you. You're going to Dada on this?
Oh, good question. Thanks for making me emotional.
Hi. So yesterday, during yesterday's panel, you mentioned that you would marry Mary. So what type of stepdad?
Catch would marry Mary.
What type of stepdad do you think Catch would be to Sandy?
Let the fanfic begin. A very tender, very loving. We'd go play a lot of touch football in the middle of Wyoming on a hunt. Yeah, it'd be weird, wouldn't it? Like, imagine trying to get the Winchester boys to call me father. Delightful. Mind your manners, young men. Get your elbows off the table.
Or I cut them off. Or you cut them off, as in like, I think Catch would be quite a mean stepdad.
Yeah?
Like to young Sam and Dean? Or like to grown up, like
But here's the question.
grown up Sam and Dean wouldn't give a shit, they just beat him up.
Is it pre or post Catch Redemption too, right? So is it like while he's still in the British Men of Letters and trying to hunt with Mary, or is it after he's died and he's grown a heart? Because I feel like they could be somewhat collegial if they, they sort of got over it, but it's like, at the end of the day, they were just tolerating Catch at the end. You're not my real guy! You're like, you're not the boss of me! Yeah, I would watch that sitcom. Catch and Mary and the boys in the bunker. It's Catch.
Hello.
Hi, my name's Kim.
Hi, Kim.
First, I want to say yesterday's panel, that was not weird. I've had way worse conversations.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Strap in.
I think.
Now, my question...
Strap on? No, strap in.
My question is, out of all the filming you've done, what line have you said that left you thinking, I never thought I'd say that?
That's a lot of lines, I gotta think. I've ever been this quiet on stage before. It's freaking me out.
Well, no, we've never been, but we gotta lean into the silence. Are you asking me this question too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We call it the hyperbolic pulse generator. There's nothing in this world that can prepare you for a hyperbolic pulse generator. You're right? You're like, that's just pure fantasy, pure myth, so you never thought that would come out of your mouth.
Yeah, like it's funny because, there's some projects you've done, like a lot of plays that I've done, the words are firmly in my mind because you have to learn them for 6 weeks before you start doing production or start doing play. But with TV and film, like you learn it and it kind of leaves your mind because you don't have any space for it. As well as when you have kids, your mind just goes, I don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, I have no memory anymore. So, but it's a great question, and I'd like to actually take a look at some of the things I've done and see what words. But it's probably something medical or like the hyperbolic pulse, whatever.
Yeah, one of the hardest things when you're getting sides on procedurals, especially medical shows, when you get that jargon, and you have to just have all that medical jargon kind of come out of your mouth. It's like, I've never pulled it off. Hence, I've never been on a hospital procedural show before. But yeah, that's tricky.
I need 5 cc's of something.
That's something.
I don't know what it is.
Blah, blah, blah.
But you're the doctor. Anyway, I forgot my lines.
I auditioned for Star Trek once, way back when I was a very young actor, and they had some weird, on the bridge jargon too, and I just bailed on it. It was like I had the fop sweats in the audition. And that's why I'm not on Star Trek, so there's a fun fact. Thanks for that question.
Sorry I didn't answer it. I will try. I will endeavor to. If you tweet me, I'll try to remember something interesting.
That's all right, thanks.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, I'm River, and I was wondering, if you could pick up your characters in Supernatural and put them in any other season, which would it be?
Oh gosh. Well, you know what? I put him in season 1, so I'd have 15 seasons.
I was just going to say the same thing.
That's Dave Haydn shows the actor talking, all of them. Please.
I don't know if I can answer that question again. I'm drying up here. Like, it would not just kind of ruin the show? Not necessarily, okay. I'd have to put them in another show.
I was listening to Jensen talk about those Purgatory episodes. The Purgatory season, what season was the big Purgatory? 8. Yeah, I've heard 8 is a dynamite season. I don't know how Ketch would fit into it. I'm still catching up on.
Hey! Bow, bow, bow.
Didn't even need, I know! It was not intentional. But yeah, like you're sort of, here's one thing that I would have really liked to have happened, and we know that they had a relationship. It would have been cool even just as a side character. We know that Crowley and Ketch and the British Men of Letters had a relationship. So it would have been really cool to do some like see some side deals and some of the
That's exactly it.
the hellhound stuff that they talked about. Like I would have loved to have worked with Mark.
Me too.
And just had a Crowley Ketch scene once. That would have been really fun.
Yeah, like it's funny that they never really kind of went down that route with us and
Well, there were so many moving parts that season
Yeah,
too. So it was
right.
like they had a lot of editing down from the stories because they were trying to tell a lot of stories in season 12. But thanks. I hope that answered your question. All of them.
I hope David answered your question. I'm failing miserably today, guys. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. My question is, if you guys could have been anybody else in the Supernatural fandom, who would you have been?
In the fandom.
Well,
What do you
not the
mean?
fandom, but like in the
In
series.
the show. I always say Lucifer, but the interesting thing about that is like I was actually asked this question yesterday. I was talking to someone yesterday in the green room about movies, and you know, like you watch a movie that Leonardo DiCaprio isn't in, or Keanu Reeves is in, and it was always offered to Leonardo first, and you imagine what would he been like in that role? Would he been, wow, I really like Keanu in The Matrix. I don't see Leo doing it, and whatever. And that kind of overshadows my answer to that question, because I can't see Lucifer without seeing Mark do it and do it so excellently, you know? But if I was to try and remove myself and think objectively, I would love to have played the devil at one point. I think it's a fun role to play. You know, do you know Tom Ellis? He does the show Lucifer. Yeah, he's a good pal. He's a wonderful guy, and he does something completely different. It's a completely different show, obviously. But yeah, that's my answer. I think Lucifer, if I could.
No, and again, to Adam's point, there is only one Crowley, and that is Mark Shepard, the incredible Mark Shepard. But I mean, if we're doing Shakespeare, like Crowley as a role, or as they call it, they also call him Crowley, and what's the, yeah.
In what?
Yeah. And so there's this mythology, so if that's a character that, you know, lives in space, I would like to take on that character, but not in Supernatural, because there's only one and only Mark Shepard.
Yeah, great. Fuck off.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was a tough question.
Yeah, great one.
Because it really is. I mean, I just feel like this cast is so perfectly cast. It's like you can't imagine kind of anyone else in the role, at least for us on the cast set. Thanks. Hi.
Hello.
Hello, Abby Lynn.
Hey, Abby Lynn.
I'm sorry about the horse thing. But anyway,
They gave us a great panel.
yeah, it was special. What were like some of your craziest or favorite fan memories or experiences that you've encountered throughout your Supernatural adventure?
Gosh, I was just literally telling people at the table multiple times yesterday, like, we get these mini stories and these mini experiences, and it is just, you guys are, I mean, you know, again, not to pander, but you guys are all so amazing, and this feeling that we get at the tables and our meet and greets and these audiences, you're just so kind and wonderful to us. My favorite thing, as I've said in my my meet and greets before, it's not about me. What I love is watching y'all help each other out and have charity and kindness and find people a room or find people a ride and charity throughout the globe. You know, and people doing gish teams and finding each other from all over the world and stuff. I've had so many heartwarming stories of people who found each other through the fandom globally and are now best friends.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my favorite thing. Like that's my absolute favorite thing.
There are so many individual stories. Like there are so many acts of kindness and all that. So it's actually better to take it on a macro level. The whole fandom that is the Supernatural fandom is just so impressive. I've never witnessed anything like it before in my life, and nor will I don't think.
And I see this to other people because there's two people in the world, kind of. And they're like, oh, what are you doing here? And I'm like, well, I'm on the show. And they're like, oh, what's the show? And they're like, Supernatural. So there's one person who's like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. Is that still on? And you sort of like fill them in. And then there's other people who are like, that's my show! That's my jam, that's my family jam.
So I travel internationally at the moment because we're back in Ireland for now, and so every time I come into the States, you've got to go through that guy at U.S. Customs. You never know which guy you're gonna get. He's sometimes a dick. He's like, what do you do? Oh, I'm an actor. Oh yeah? Do anything I know? Oh, I don't know. What have you seen? You never say that. You go, yes sir, well I did this show and I did that show. And you always mention Supernatural first. And then you get, oh, I heard of that show. Or you get, oh my God, Sam, good man, have a great trip. It's one or the other. Like, you never get someone who goes like, Supernatural, you're not getting it.
No, yeah, I've had 3 customs guys coming out of Vancouver be like, that's the jam. I love that show. And it's so nice. And they're like, you just see them like warm up and you just have this moment, and that's the power of what, we got to be a part of on the last quarter. So it's amazing. There was
one guy in particular that really didn't want to let me into the country during the pandemic because there are I have what's called an O1 visa. It's an artist's visa to go to the States. Now that I'm married to an American, I get my green card, thankfully, but I haven't gotten it yet. Anyway, so during the pandemic, the O1 visas weren't being issued and weren't really being allowed into the States because there was only really specific people were allowed to travel. And this one guy started busting my balls about it until I mentioned Supernatural, and then he just like totally let me in. It was great. Thank you.
I had a similar thing at the border going south. At the height of the pandemic, after I'd finished quarantine, I had to pack up a place in Vancouver and I was driving south again. And I mean, I felt like I was in this was the height of lockdown.
Did you do the thing? Come here.
I prevented him. He was also a big football fan too, but like I had the beard and I was wearing my ball cap and my glasses on. And there's like, all right, he's like giving me the grill. And he's like, what do you do? And then of course he did the same thing. I gotta give my resume. And he was like, Gabriel and Catch Wild Good. And he brought his buddies over and that was like through. Yeah. And I was like, gosh, that's when you're like, I don't know how I feel about this membership has its privileges thing. Because then I'm just like, then I felt guilty about it. I was like, what about other people crossing this border that don't have the same thing? So
I'm always so nervous. I don't really give a shit about anybody else, just myself. They really make you so nervous. It's unbelievable. It's did I smuggle some drugs in that I'm unaware of? I must have. I'm guilty. You look so guilty.
Well, I would also just say to you, stop smuggling drugs. It's that option. He makes me put the glove on when he gets in, and it's a whole.
Hello. Hi. Hey, buddy.
Hi. If your characters came on earlier in the show, how do you think their relationship with Sam and Dean and their personalities would have changed, and if their relationship with Sam and Dean would have changed from tolerating each other to being friends?
If we came on we were on the show in earlier seasons?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it all would have had to do with what was the initial thrust of the Men of Letters agenda, or the British Men of Letters agenda, right? So if it was the same agenda, I think it would have just played out in a very similar way because they were trying to take over and through force. But if there was a different leader of the British Men of Letters that was trying to make it a more cooperative, interesting thing, a more collaborative thing, that could have been interesting, right? I always thought that would be really interesting to have a show or like a one-off movie of the international Men of Letters.
Yeah. Like the Japanese Men of Letters?
Like the Japanese Men of Letters and the South American, like Brazilian Men of Letters with jiu-jitsu and just have some badasses from all over the world. Kind of, they did it? What? Oh, they did it! I was like, what? I wanted to see it. But like a samurai wielding one and just see what that kind of global like unity of the Men of Letters would have kind of been. That kind of cool.
Welsh one.
The Canadian?
Yeah.
Canadian Men of Letters. Hey, we're just gonna tease you, monsters. Hey, Sasquatch.
Hey, sorry, werewolf. I'm so sorry.
I don't want to kill you, but don't make me do it.
You're making
Maybe
me
we
mad.
can just shake hands and go to Timmy Ho's and have a double-double and some Timbits, and we'll call it a day. Sorry, Sasquatch. I want to be buddies with you, but you're making it hard for me, right? No one's gonna watch that show, but it's adorable.
Really? Tim Hortons.
Supernatural meets Ice Road Truckers. Maybe. It could work. Thanks for the question, someone who said that.
This young gentleman over here. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, bud.
Hello.
Hello, I was one of the people at the end of the line yesterday.
Hey.
Oh, well, thank you for showing up.
So I have a question, and it's a really serious question.
Okay, what's that?
It's not about horses and ducks, is it?
No. All right. So imagine that you both are in an Avengers Civil War style showdown. You both have to make a team of other supernatural actors. Who are you both taking?
Well, Dean and Sam, for sure. I don't know who you got. You got Misha.
I'll totally take Misha. Wait a second, you just picked two players.
I was quick off the mark. Okay.
So easy. I'll take Pellegrino. Pellegrino for sure.
Yeah,
He's got boxer and jiu-jitsu background. I'll take Brianna. Brianna's tough. Oh,
Kim Rhodes is fucking tough. I take Kim Rhodes. Jesus Christ.
That's
I won't fuck with her.
cast. I take Beaver. I claim Beaver.
Well, he's the only one that's actually seen any action.
Well, that's true too. Well, no, and he would run some serious ops.
You can have Rob. I'll take Matt Cohen.
Oh yeah, Matt Cohen. Tamo. I claim Tamo.
Oh yeah, Tamo.
Tamo's
Yeah, he's beast.
Yeah.
No,
we got some good. Oh,
Ruthie. Aye, we Ruthie. I take Ruthie. Al Cal? Yeah? Okay.
Well, the whole cast, they just split it up between us.
I wouldn't take Mick Davies, that's what I wouldn't take.
No, you can make with the time you take.
Hold on, I'll bore you to death.
Thanks for the question.
Sorry?
What about Jared and Jensen?
I said Sam and Dean.
Sam and Dean, what? Sorry.
At the beginning.
Well, Jared and Jensen, of course, like beast mode.
I take Jared. If it's Jared rather than Sam, yeah, 100%.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Susan, and I asked this question to other people on the panel, so I thought I'd get an interesting answer from you. Would you be Team Sam or Team Dean?
I think Mick for sure was Team Sam. Mick definitely had a strong bond with Sam, and it took a while for him to wear Dean down. So I think they were both academics, and yeah, I think for me definitely.
Ketch is Team Dean, but Dave Hayden Jones would be definitely Team Sam. I just like the softer, nerdier side. I relate to that. I would like to be Team Dean in real life, but yeah, I'm not.
I think that's the thing about, you know, and Mike Arthur too. I think during the show, his brief tenure in the show, he really wanted to be Team Dean. He really wanted Dean to like him so much. I think that was a really interesting dynamic between Mick and Dean. That you know, like Dean didn't like him. Right up until the end, he didn't really like him, and I think Mick really fought for his friendship and his admiration, whereas he got it with Sam a lot earlier in the season.
Thanks for your question. Thank you, Shit.
Thank you.
Hola.
Hello, my name's Laverne, and this hello, and this kind of dovetails off of what you just said, and it's for David, and it's in regards to Catch. Given the fact that Catch and Dean are both kind of killers, and Catch sees Dean as sort of a kindred killer spirit, is there sort of an envious relationship there, where Dean has family, friends, people of that nature, and where Catch has a hard time like getting how Dean has that and how he doesn't? Anyway, just
what you said. No, that's so thoughtfully and interesting put, and I could nerd out, and I'm so glad that you maybe picked up on some of those notes, because I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. My God. I mean, the way I conceived of Catch when I heard more and more of the layers get peeled back, he was conditioned, he was abused, he was given over by his family at an early age. The abused continue to abuse, then you add sort of Stockholm Syndrome and training. Catch could have been a very different person if he had had love and a hug.
Yeah, I tried.
You know what I mean?
I can reach out to the guy. You know, I tried to send you those emails.
You know, well, getting drunk and playing soggy biscuit at Kendrick's isn't.
You know what?
That's not love.
I think Dr. Hess could be one of the most evil characters in the show.
It's true. Yeah, and I've had so many people say, "Oh, I hated Dr. Hess."
But she was an amazing actor, by the way. Jesus Christ.
She's such a nice person too. Gosh. But if we're talking about the canon and the backstory of Catch, 1,000%. I mean, he absolutely did envy. I mean, that was the whole thing. But like, he had to keep it above board, and then falling in love with Mary and like opening his heart, but to have it shut down and then pulled out again. To me, the redemption of Catch, it happens with that scene in the snow on the rocks, where he tries to say, "I got to wash some of this blood off my hands," and then he's tending to Dean's wounds and getting through that journey. But then when he's in the hospital bed and he said, "I have to go help my friends," that's the first time that he's ever really understood what the meaning of friend is. And I kind of love that he died.
So well written. Oh, what a well written character.
It was so tasty to play. So 100%, I agree with your thesis that he was jealous of family life because he never had a family. Well, he says, "The man of letters is my family to marry."
Yeah, and he shot one of them in the back of the fucking
head. That is, right?
Oh, you treat your family really well.
Yeah, good gracious. So thanks for that question. Sorry if that got sort of actory and inside. But
hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Definitely a tonal change, but there's a question from a radio show back home in St. Louis called the Rizzuto Show. The question is, how many third graders could you take in a brawl before you were overrun?
How many third graders? How old are third graders? 8? 8, yeah.
This is a child abuse question.
Right, you fucking kick them. Like, you know, you got long legs, just kick them from afar. I'd say like...
Are they at least zombie third graders? So are they monsters?
Oh, lean into it.
Lean into it.
I would say the third graders' city of origin would come into play because like third graders from Detroit versus third graders from...
True.
Shangri-La.
Exactly. There's going to be differences, so that's up to you.
Fair enough.
Well, then, I suppose, yeah, I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 8. 8-year-olds. 8 is a good number, I think. You can't kick 8 kids in the head. Like, no. Seriously, my girl's about a life to look forward to.
And I would lay my arms akimbo and offer myself to the third graders and say, "Take me, I die for thee. I do not want to live in a world where I beat up third graders."
And he did it in his Catch Jackson, which is just bombs. Catch with fucking machine gun on there. Like,
I thought she was asking me. Catch would be like,
chopping their heads.
you dirty little
Just children die, children die. Anyway, I hope that's all recorded.
Yes. We are pro-murdering children here at Supernatural. Please don't edit that out.
If there's any 8-year-olds here,
Send it to Hallmark movies. I'm just like, hi, I'm just a lonely dad with my little daughter. I'm new to town. Do you have like an Airbnb? Fuck children!
Oh, very good. Hello, how are you, love? You okay?
Yeah.
You having a good time?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. So this is for you, Adam. Yesterday we learned that David wants to, on his bucket list, is riding a motorcycle. So what is on your bucket list?
It's always been travel. Like, you know, there's so much wonderfulness in the world that I haven't seen. So there are so many countries I haven't been to that are all on my bucket list. Where specifically? Iceland. I really want to do Iceland. Okay. Let me think. Apart from travel, what else is on my bucket list? You know, an Oscar wouldn't be bad. No, but seriously, I don't know. Like, without getting too sentimental, I think like I just had the best thing happen to me 8 months ago, and it's like I'm having the best time of my life being a father. So I'm looking forward to every moment that is ahead of me. You know, like I've met Dave's gorgeous kid and read her story to bed one night, and all that stuff is like I can't wait for. So it's hard to think of anything outside of that I really want.
Well, it was
beautiful.
It was really sweet that night that we'd had.
Yeah.
And you and Haley were left, and we'd had a nice adult little hang after, and you guys were just so loving. We're like, oh, we should have one. You were just in the best mood. Like I just
and we had two.
And we had two.
Yeah. Thank you, though.
Great question.
Or just
hi.
Hi. No question. I just want to thank you guys for making my first con experience very memorable. Like, my face is still hurting from laughing through yesterday's panel. So.
Today's panel sucks. Not funny at all.
The people that went and yesterday were like, you gotta come to this panel. These guys are off the hook.
Yeah, they're
oh my god, they got all serious.
Let me talk about Ketch's feelings and abuse as a child.
Thank you, that's a beautiful thing to say. Thanks for queuing up.
No, thank you. And hey, all the first timers, give yourself a applause because I've met so many of you. Wow, this is so exciting that this continues. Like, I hope you come back and you feel the love and feel the camaraderie in the family. It's really, really powerful stuff, so thanks.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so 2 things. First off, this sign is for Jim Beaver, but I thought that anyone who would appreciate it would be you all, so just hold on. Don't you love it? It's pretty funny. I think it's hilarious.
I hardly know her.
Jim Beaver, I hardly know her.
That's filthy.
Yeah, no, I know it's about a vagina. I just can't really, Why is it not? You're not allowed to say beaver, but you're not allowed to say vagina? Alright.
Okay, and then the
I'm not touching that.
Oh, yeah, say what? That's what she said. Oh, I'm not touching that! That was like you in 8th grade. Oh, wait, 8th grade is a bit young. How was 8th grade? I don't have grades in Ireland. Oh, 10th grade, 12th grade, 12th grade. It's easier. Whew.
I'm sweating right now. I don't feel safe.
Come on, David, come on. No, I'm not touching that.
You're so triggering right now. Hi, what?
Hi.
Please speak. Save me.
My question is, is, would you rather be bit by a vampire from Supernatural, or, I'm sorry if I offend anybody, a super basic looking, like, vampire from Twilight? Because I feel like there'd be more maiming in Supernatural.
Okay, can I say something potentially very controversial here? Do we have Twilight fans in the audience? Do you prefer Supernatural vampires or Twilight vampires? Supernatural, okay. So first of all, way on Team Supernatural over vampires. I was forced to watch Twilight by my girlfriend at the time. I'm not touching it! I was hoping to touch it if I sat through fucking Twilight. Jesus, I put my time in.
All 3 movies?
Are there 3 movies? God, no. Like, I quit for them. So, see, this was the deal breaker for me. Oh my God, it made me so angry. And again, if you love Twilight, God bless you. But as a younger man at the time, trying to get my way through this and all the emo, like, oh my God, it's raining. It's raining in Washington. We're just like... But when, what's his name? Batman.
Pattinson. Rob,
who's gorgeous and amazing.
He's amazing.
I'm not taking anything away from Rob. But what is his character's name? Yeah, Ass Clown, right. Ass Clown the vampire. And it's Kristen Stewart, right? Kristen Stewart? And they're out on the rocky, like the cliff, and they're by the trees. Why can't you come out in the daylight? And he like looks at her and he goes, and I was like, 'cause I'll burn and I'll fucking roast, and it's like, and the new lore is like, 'cause I glitter and sparkle and everyone will notice me. Does gravity work on vampires? I'm trying to touch a vagina. God damn it, I'm sparkly. I have to hide. Give me Anne Rice any day of the week. Utter fucking nonsense. I'm sorry for your Twilight.
I haven't seen the Twilight movies. I have seen. Have you ever seen Interview with a Vampire?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Anne Rice.
Proper. Oh, yeah.
Vampire
sorry.
less that, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's bad. Like Brad Pitt.
That's vampire lore, right? I'm so mad right now.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know. You obviously didn't get to touch it.
I think we just learned something here today. I'll be booking 3 therapy sessions when I get back to LA. I sparkle.
That is
so sparkly. That's why you can't. Oh, I'm so mad right now. Why am I so irrationally mad? Can I repeat what you just said? So this lovely, kind heckler in the front said, 'cause you couldn't touch it and you still got fucked.
I actually thought this was going to be a very sanitary panel for the whole thing. It took 1 beaver.
1 beaver's all it takes, folks. We've learned a lot today.
Oh, very good. Very good. Hello. Let's see if we can